We are going to be talking about a homebrew variant rule called Gestalt. Now, Gestalt is very overpowered. It's definitely for a high power, high fantasy type of setting or game that you're trying to do. I would definitely not recommend this if you are inexperienced with dungeon mastering, or even if you're inexperienced as a player. Now, I would recommend this to a party that is very experienced, everyone from the dungeon master to all the players, especially the casters.
especially the wizard.
So, the idea behind a Gestalt is that you're taking features from two separate classes each time you level up. For example, I'm going to take one level into Barbarian and one level into Fighter. But since this is Gestalt, I have both of these at level 1 for my character. Now, you might be thinking, whoa, hey, that's really strong. Yeah, it is. And my favorite level 1 Gestalt combo is a Life Cleric Any Druid Goodberry. It just works. Back to the original example of a fighter barbarian, I'm going to pull up this quick little character sheet I made on Roll20. So as you can see in the features area, even though this is a level 1 character, it still has both of the level 1 feats from both fighter and barbarian. Another thing to note is the hit dice. So each time a character gains a level in Gestalt, they don't take both the hit dice, they only take the higher of the two. So because they take the higher of the two hit dice, the hit points is determined by the d12 of the barbarian as opposed to the d10 of the fighter. And now you're probably wondering, well, where do we choose our gosh darn skills or gosh darn or tool weapon proficiencies? What's up? What are we proficient in? Well, I'll gosh darn tell you. So when it comes to proficiency, your proficiency bonus is going to scale normally. When you're level 1, it's just plus 2. When you're level 5, it's plus 3, etc., etc. Now, the skills that you get from level 1, this is a bit different. You do get to pick from both lists of skills from each class that you have a level in. Whichever class gives you the greater number of skills, you choose that number of skills. An example that's given inside of the Gestalt on the D&D wiki is that a fighter or ranger can choose 3 skills, picking from both fighter skill list and a ranger skill list. Additionally, you're proficient with armors, weapons, tools, and saving throw proficiencies from both classes. Now, fighter barbarian was a terrible example for this, but it was really easy and fast to make. I'm going to show you guys an example of a caster after this. Now with Casty McGee, there's a lot more stuff going on here. First thing you may notice is that there are a lot more saving throws over here. In the Fighter Barbarian example, they both had proficiency in Strength and Constitution. Proficiencies do not add up, so they did not get the benefit of having a wider range of saves. In the case of Wizard and Sorcerer, Casty McGee has proficiency in Constitution, Intelligence, Wisdom, and Charisma saving throws. Now, Casty McGee is stuck with a very weak d6 hit die, but his sin will be greatly absolved after you see his righteous fury. Now, mortal, hold tightly to your phone or mouse, or I don't know what you're watching this. Hold on tight, for you shall now bear witness Casty McGee's unlimited power. It's just 2 extra spell slots. It's so it just start with 2 spellcasting classes, whether it's a half caster, full caster, or even a third caster. You add the spell slots that you get from both classes. In the case of wizard and sorcerer, they each get 2 first level spell slots at level 1. They also get to add all the cantrips that they get at this level. And other than that, you pretty much make a character as you normally would. Now we're just stuck with the question, why even bother with Gestalt? From the sounds of it, it'd be game breaking to introduce into any officially published module from Wizards of the Coast. It's already hard enough to balance encounters for normal parties in homebrew games. And that's probably the biggest point to consider if you're going to be running a Gestalt game or not. Do you have the time to balance this out? Would you even know where to start? If it sounds like way too much work, way too much stress, way too much whatever have you, I'm sorry to have wasted your time up to this point. There's no working around it. Now, for the rest of you who are very determined and want to run a game like this for your players, I have one easy solution for you. Run a one shot. Think of this as learning D&D all over again. You're going to want to practice homebrewing features and abilities on monsters, remembering to include racial traits such as the high elf's ability to cast a cantrip, or a variant human could get an additional feat. Apply those to your NPCs like the gladiators, the town guards, even the nobles. It's gonna take a while and a lot of practice just to get used to the power curve that comes with Gestalt. I'll make some videos in the future to help stir up creativity, make sure that monsters are challenging but not overwhelmingly so, because the CR system as it is already fairly inaccurate and posing a challenge for normal parties. But aside from that, I don't really have much else to add on to this. Leave comments if you have questions or anything regarding Gestalt, and I'll try to answer them to the best of my abilities. I am not the creator of this variant rule. It is based on a variant rule for older editions of Dungeons and Dragons. I'll leave a link to the variant rule down below in the descriptions. Well, that's all I have for you guys, so I'll be ending it here. See you in the next one.